So, welcome everybody. This is the 48th book club discussion, and we are going to be discussing The Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu. So, initially, let me just go through a little bit about the book and the themes and other maybe a little bit about what is exactly the three body problem also. And then I'll give it to you all, and please do share your views about the book, and we'll see some quotes too. So Cixin Liu was born in 1963 in China. He's a computer engineer and he worked at a power plant before he became a full-time writer. He's often called as China's Arthur C. Clarke for his big concept, physics-driven science fiction. But his style is also distinctly shaped by the Chinese history and the politics. He's lovingly called as Da Liu by his fellow science fiction writers in China. He grew up during the Cultural Revolution, which left a strong mark on him, both in witnessing chaos and in a deep awe for science as a way to transcend turmoil. He's a nine-time winner of the China's Galaxy Award. He's the 2015 Hugo Award winner for the book which we've just read. He's the first author from Asia to actually win the Hugo Award. He's a 2017 Locus Award for his other book, Death's End. He's a winner of the Chinese Nebula Award. He's a member of the China Science Writers Association, and he's the vice president of the Shanxi Writers Association too. His Liu's fiction focuses primarily on problems like social inequality, scientific development, and ecological limitations which impact humanity. His works, including some of his adaptations, contain various subtle and plot-wide criticisms of actions of the Chinese Communist Party. In fact, in the three body problem, the version which we read, the whole thing about the Chinese Communist Party's atrocities actually come right in the beginning itself of the book. But in China, his Chinese version actually has those sections in the middle of the book because the publisher felt that even when they go through the book, they would go through the first few chapters. And if we have such very strong, criticisms of these actions in the beginning, it might not get through the censors. So in that book, it's actually in the middle. But then the English translator said, shouldn't this be actually in the beginning? And Cixin Liu was like, yes, that's exactly how I wanted it to be in my original version too. So let's do that. So that's how the English version has those portions in the beginning. In a June 2019 interview, which is published in New Yorker, Liu said that he prefers to avoid talking about politics. However, in the same article, he also stated that democracy is not appropriate for modern China, and what the current situation is in China is what is best suited for Chinese people and for Chinese society. So Liu has said that he wrote the three body problem when he was working full time at a power plant. So he actually used to often write late into the night after work. And some reviewers say, which is why probably the scenes have this cold, industrial, and nocturnal feel. It He, of course, wrote by hand first, and then he would, move to a computer. His draft was pieced together slowly over several years. He says that he's not a character focused writer. So in interviews, he admits that he's more interested in the ideas and the cosmic scale speculation than in psychology, which is why readers often find the concepts very larger than life, but the characters can feel so secondary, which I think was what we were also talking about. So Liu was inspired by his childhood stargazing in rural Shanxi, and the night skies were clear over there, and he was awed by the universe. Sorry, just 1 second, please. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, sorry, So Liu was inspired by all his childhood stargazing and everything, and he was very awed by the universe. So when he started writing this book, more than the story, the first thing that caught him was the three body problem. The title was of the book was what he first chose before he started writing the book. The three body problem in physics fascinated him, as a metaphor for chaos and unpredictability. He has once said that he was haunted by this idea since his student days. So he originally published the novel as a serialized web story in 2006 in the Science Fiction World magazines, and it became a full novel only later. So Liu often jokes that he's the most uncreative science fiction writer because all his ideas come directly from physics textbooks and scientific speculation and not from imagination alone. So when the three body problem won the Hugo Award in 2015, he was so modest about it that he told the Chinese press he wasn't sure he deserved it compared to Western giants like Asimov or Clark. He has admitted that Ye Wenji, the astrophysicist who first contracts the thresholds, the character was partly inspired by his own feelings of despair about humanity's future during his youth. His day job influenced him a lot. The power plant setting in the novel also echoes the industrial, austere environment in which he lived in daily. And that's what he's written about. Now going on to the book, the three body problem is credited with launching Chinese science fiction onto the world stage. In fact, Barack Obama read it during his presidency, and he joked that it made his daily problems feel very pretty small. Mark Zuckerberg picked it for his book club in 2015. Liu himself is very private. He rarely travels abroad and he lives quietly in his hometown. I just thought, maybe a little bit, just an intro or so about what exactly is this three body problem would be maybe a slightly interesting to you all. So I just thought we'll see a little of the science behind it. So the three body problem is a classical unsolvable physics problem, you know. Basically what it says is that when we have two I would say two bodies in space, like maybe the sun and uh, the earth, for instance. The orbit of the earth around the sun is very predictable, and we can predict where the earth would be at a particular point of time in space at a when compared to the sun. So now, when a third, you know, body is introduced into this, a third, I would say, a third planet or a third star is introduced into it, that's when this whole predictable pattern changes and it becomes chaotic. So no more will that same kind of predictability is possible. Uh, so this whole thing is called as a three body problem. How that two, you know, maybe I'm not explaining it very well, but Sarit, do you want to try?
Yeah, so when there are three or more bodies who have gravitational force in a particular place, then it becomes extremely difficult to calculate, how a body which is a fourth body which is subject to gravitational force from those three bodies will move. It's very difficult because there are a number of a small change in the initial conditions can lead to a wide divergence in the result. So it is extremely difficult. So, while in theory it can be calculated, but you need to have very minute knowledge of the initial conditions. So that is the problem in a sense.
Yeah. So when in Earth we have this very we don't have the same kind of our mass is the mass of Earth and the other planets is very tiny when compared to the sun, and our distance and everything makes it convenient for life to be there. However, in the planet, the Trisolaran world, which we see in the book, there are three suns. And because there are three bodies over there, it's completely chaotic, and there's a lot of destruction and stuff which happens. So that whole thing, that instability and unpredictability is what fascinated that's exactly what fascinated Cixin Liu to write the book. So he wanted to mirror that instability. So he wants to say that that instability, there, the instability is caused by the planet itself. But here we create that instability. So he wants to make the three body problem a metaphor for the instability in our human affairs, in our society. Yeah. So that's the science behind the name. And so some of the important themes which are explored over here is science versus politics. So how political movements actually suppress, distort, and they exploit science. And the ethical dilemmas of scientists when they discover that their discoveries can also be weaponized. One example of this is the book Silent Spring, written by Rachel Carson. So, actually, in the book, we see that this book, Silent Spring, written by Carson, is being read by Ye Wenji. She reads it very secretly during the Cultural Revolution time because it's a banned book. Now, the reason why it's actually banned is because Carson, in fact, documented the harmful effect of pesticides, especially DDT, on the environment. So she showed how chemicals used in agriculture and mosquito control were actually poisoning birds, fish, and even humans for that matter. Now, this was a period of time when China emphasized on industrialization and they wanted to control nature. So the popular Maoist slogan was "Man must conquer heaven." Now, when this kind of a slogan is there at that time, to go and tell them you should not use pesticides because it can affect the environment. So here the community, the government wants to show that they are much more than the nature. They can control nature, right? So a book which questions that is obviously not welcome, which is why Silent Spring was a banned book at that time. So any book which questioned technology, progress, or the authority of the party was considered bourgeois and reactionary, and it was banned. Now, another theme which is explored in the book is humanity's place in the universe. Are we insignificant in the cosmic scale? So, how does the book challenge our optimism about first contact with aliens? Now, this is very interesting. In fact, even she talks about it. In the book, also, I'm sorry, he talks about it. Cixin Liu also mentions about this in the book. When we, from a particular country or a particular continent, all, as history has shown us, we visit another place, we think about how to conduct a war over there, how to take over that place, and how to, show our superiority or our dominance in that place. However, whenever we think of aliens, we don't think of that. We always think of them as these beautiful beings somewhere far away who is going to come to us and we would be great friends, or they would teach us their technology or whatever. That's the kind of, we have this very optimistic look when it comes to aliens. So she asked, when you're not doing it in your own country, in your own world, how do you think that in another world we are going to have such a nice relationship with them? And another important concept which is shown is trust, betrayal, and despair. So her illusion with the entire humanity after her own personal trauma and her political trauma, and how she views these aliens as saviors, and she invites them to come conquer, or and save maybe humanity from what is happening on earth. Okay, I'm going to stop share now, and I'll uh, give it to you to share your point of view, after which we can have a look at some of the quotes. Arjun, you were telling that you had started reading the book, right?
Yeah, I've just only the first chapter's done actually.
Okay,
That,
okay.
that no, it's not even done. I mean, just half. I'd read
Yeah.
a bit, but
Initially, it's nice. So let us not put you off. Maybe you can give it a
Yeah, that's what
shot
I
and
thought
try.
I thought that there'll be glowing reviews, but I think I'm also
Yeah.
having second thoughts. But no, I think I'll go through it. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. Let's see how it goes.
Mm-mm.
I just heard
I
that it's a
enjoyed the
starting
first
point.
100 to 150 pages was still like, I was like, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Let me see. It's a
Mm.
new world, new setting, and all that. It was okay. But after which I think it was a little difficult for us. But maybe if you enjoy science, then maybe you might enjoy it because the book has such vastly different reviews, you know.
Mm.
And there's a lot of reviews which say that the book is really good. So, yeah. Meenal, would you like to share anything about your experience with reading the book?
Yes. First, I'd like to share what I have understood, and then maybe you can enlighten me with what is beyond, my understanding. So basically, the science fiction novel, it explores the first contact between humans and an alien civilization. And yes, the story begins during China's Cultural Revolution, and then it spans several decades. Uh, it's a time of great turmoil and change in China. Now, the aliens, they come from a planetary system of three suns, which creates chaos and unpredictability.
Hmm.
Then there are even unpredictable environmental conditions. We see that in the video game when they enter
Yeah.
uh, place. Yeah. And this has led to the evolution of one very advanced civilization. Now, what I have understood is that particular alien planet, it is threatened by an unstable environment, and so they want to, colonize other planets and ensure their survival. However, their understanding of the universe and physics, it's very different from the earthlings or the humanity's understanding of the universe. And then when these humans begin to communicate with the aliens, that's when they realize the enormity, of the consequences. They feel that the aliens could potentially destroy human civilization. So some of them are very suspicious and they are opposing, and then there is one group of people who are supporting. They want aliens, and that is that what was her name? Ye Wenji, I think, the
Yeah. Yeah.
protagonist. Yeah, she's that reactionary's daughter,
Yeah.
and she invites them and wants them to come and sort of colonize Earth and maybe potentially save it or whatever. So this is what this much I have understood, but I found it a little difficult and an abstract read.
Hmm. Yeah. No, right, right. You're right. And the I think it could have been maybe if it was a shorter read, probably it would have been better,
Yeah.
or maybe the
Now,
characters also.
like I did not understand how she got hold of that helmet, that metal helmet you wear for you to enter, the virtual game and for you to
Yeah.
enter.
Yeah.
So where did that come from? I couldn't understand that. How did she get that?
Hmm. I have no idea.
Yeah.
He goes and he buys, no, for the video game. That I
But,
remember.
but
Reading
how
about.
how were they able to enter? I don't know. That I couldn't
It's
really
like
grasp.
I just thought it looks like a simulation. It's really a game. It's a
Yeah,
simulated game
yeah, it's a
which
game, but
mimics the same world,
yeah,
probably.
but it's a quite an unusual helmet. It's not like a real, I mean,
Yeah.
other those virtual reality that we enter. This was something.
A suit, isn't
It's
it?
Hmm?
It's a suit, right?
Yeah, it's a
no,
suit.
it's only
It's a
that
full suit.
helmet. No, she
No,
wears.
helmet is in the series.
I saw the series. That's what
Yeah.
I'm.
In the
Yeah,
books,
Oh,
it's a suit, which is
yeah.
not, it's not something special, I think. It is available.
it's
Because
available
it
in the
says,
shop.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
available. I was confused about what were they trying to achieve by the video games. And were the video games controlled by the aliens, by the Trisolarans? Were the
Yes,
video games? controlled by them, and why did they want them to? What were they trying to? Were they trying to look at who are the bright scientists and trying to, pinpoint that these are the smart people? I didn't understand the point of those games. Though some concepts are very interesting, the dehydrating
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that was
yeah,
very,
I
very
felt like
unusual.
it didn't add much value as such because it like took the amount of chunk of
yeah,
pages and stuff and information which went into the game
correct.
that did not
Wasn't that
justify.
point of contact with the aliens? It is
Yeah.
through the game that they established that contact, no, with the aliens.
No. Not really. No, the game is just a simulation. It felt like a simulation of what is that world. So this is how it is. So because of which now we are coming to your world. That's what felt like that.
I thought
Not
because
sure
of
if it's a
course,
little different in the series because the point of contact still continues to be through the signals only, right?
correct.
In the book, that's how it
Yeah.
is. So she
But what was
continues that signaling which goes on, which is her initial signal which she sends.
Yeah,
On
and
also.
also, the suddenly when she looks at the sky, she
Ah,
can see all sorts of those figures, the stars that
the
shine.
numbers?
Yeah,
the numbers which come.
yeah,
So all
numbers
Exactly.
that
those things are
come.
sent by them to
It's like
confuse the
a
people.
countdown. Yeah, the
Yeah,
numbers showing some kind of a countdown.
Countdown, yeah.
correct. That is to confuse him, and make
Yeah,
them feel disoriented.
They were trying to target all the scientific brains of the
Yeah,
earth,
yeah,
right?
correct.
That was some part of the plan which I thought maybe
So they say that if we destroy the science in that
correct.
civilization, then civilization will not improve. So by the time they come in 400 years, it will be
They
ready for
can
them
take
to take
over.
over.
Yeah, that I figured.
Yeah,
But also because there was some bit of Chinese history or mythology or whatever, that also worked against the book. As in,
yeah.
had I been a Chinese reading that,
Mhm.
probably those Emperor Wu and all that would have been familiar to me. It
Familiar
would
to
have
them.
been easier to
Yeah,
grasp.
grasp. Right,
So as
right.
a total non-Chinese person, that just added another layer of confusion.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even I
true,
couldn't
true.
understand actually the cultural revolution
Yeah.
that China and
Yeah.
what
So,
it had
sorry,
to do.
Meenal, Arjun's hand is up. Arjun, did you want to
Yeah,
share something?
Just had a query. No, I mean, I can finish a point. I'll wait. No point.
Huh?
I just had a query. I can ask later also. It's not urgent.
no, it's okay, but you can ask. It's fine.
No, I mean, for the people who read the book, my query is the language. See, because this book is a translation. So, was a lot of things lost in the translation, or was it too science heavy? Because I'm just starting to read the book, and to be honest, I'm quite interested in it.
Exactly.
I want to like the book. I'm determined to like the book, to be honest.
Yeah, I
2
think
minutes.
you will like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is science heavy. There's
Yeah,
nothing
very.
lost in the language. It's just science heavy. So if you like the science, you'll probably like it because some of my friends, Archana, the Insta post I did, one of my friends was, please read it, go ahead. It's so good, so good.
Ah.
Yes, so I
So
was,
I just 2 days back, there's this crosswords book club, which is there very popular in Mumbai. I think Arjun is also there on that group.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Christopher one. No?
And there were like such raving reviews of the
I
book.
know,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I mean, they
And
are.
they're actually now going to be reading the entire trilogy.
Yeah, in
They
January.
love the book
You should
so
ask them
much.
to explain, Archana, then.
Hmm?
You
Yeah,
should ask them to, explain.
yeah.
Oh,
See,
Javed,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, maybe beyond this science, I mean, we can look at it as a very metaphorical or like an allegorical book.
Yeah.
Um,
But like the ruthless rule of writing, in my opinion, Meenal, is writing fiction is whatever doesn't serve the story, you're supposed to cut it off.
True.
But here, I think he's not done that because he loved that science and his ideas behind the whole thought process so much, which is what I feel even with the game also. There's no need to have gone so much into it. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
because
have to.
as an author, he should have asked somebody that is the science getting in the way of the story.
So that's what, most of the reviews of people who like the book, they say the science is not getting in way of the story,
Okay.
which is very surprising.
Maybe they are science students. I don't know.
Yeah, probably they are. Like,
There was a whole section on, I don't know, the principles of. It was crazy. There were pages and pages and pages of how it should work and the research. And a non-scientific person will not plow through that. It was just
Yeah.
that.
So,
Maybe the story at its heart was nice and kind of missed because of the science.
no, I think even otherwise, Tulika, like the characters also, they didn't really, I don't know, they didn't really speak to you, no? It didn't catch your attention and keep you on.
That's what your presentation said. No, he said I don't bother about characters.
I don't bother. He says I don't bother.
So it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, characters are extremely important.
Yeah.
Very important. Because that,
Shamal Rao ji is here today now.
yeah, I know.
Hi, Shamal Rao ji.
Hello, ma'am. Namaste to all. I'm
Namaste.
sorry I'm late. I was stuck up in
Oh,
traffic. The matter of fact, I had, went to that chartered accountant for IT return. There I got stuck up.
okay.
Apart from that, I'll be leaving for States next month on 8th. So I
Okay.
want to complete. I'll be going to the San Francisco. I'm sorry for this. So those things are to wind up, and I got late. And as you just observed, actually the book was difficult for me. I could not read this time.
Oh, you've not read the book, Shamal Rao
No,
ji.
because there are other engagements in the house. My brother's his
Okay.
daughter was getting married. I had to go to Bangalore and then
Oh,
Puttaparthi. So it was a disturbing month. I could not read. Though the book is there with me on my table,
okay.
I could not read it. So I always again beg pardon for that. But I shall participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
I just have one thought.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be foreshadowing how humans might experience alien contact, not directly, but through all these mediated systems, no, like these virtual games or media or technology
Mm-hmm.
in the future? Is the author trying to tell that this can be one way of communicating with the aliens?
You never know. Have any of you seen those videos of, Alexa and this Google Home and all? When it turns on, the kids, the babies in the house, they react in a very different manner. Have you seen that, Tulika?
No, this is so interesting.
Yeah,
I've
this
not
sounds
seen this.
interesting.
So what is it like?
So they actually, as soon as Alexa or Google Home, whichever turns on, or
Uh-huh.
even if the parents call out Alexa, if they just make that sound, immediately the kid lands on the floor, literally flat on the floor, covers its head on the floor and covers it like this.
Oh God, damn, this is so
And
scary.
that's so scary. You should just see those videos. I was completely blown away. And these are all like kids below 2 years old.
Oh Lord.
Literally babies and toddlers. Babies literally go screaming and they cover their face, they lie on the floor. It's like as if like a bomb has exploded or something, the way they react. And I don't know why what is thing, I don't know.
What I've heard is that I don't know how true this is, but apparently babies 1 year or 2 years less, they can't really hear that properly. Something I've heard like that. And
Oh,
maybe that frequency kind of is irritating to them when they
irritating
start.
to their ears or
Could be
something
something like that. Because
yeah.
I've heard a couple of times my mother telling me that babies who are that young, they can't actually hear.
Oh,
I don't know how true that is. This is just that I just remember what my mom told.
To get rid of Google
yeah.
Home.
Seriously, you just Google it and see, you will find those videos online of and it's extremely scary to see the way they react for it.
Maybe their threshold
So there is something which is
of noise tolerance must be very low.
noise tolerance or some radiation or something which comes from it, which kind of irritates them, you know. So you never know. I think maybe they are already among us.
Tri-Solarans are coming.
No, actually, there have been some US Senate or some hearings or something. Last year, I heard that about these aliens and how we already have contact with them and telling us something. I didn't really go into detail, though I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
But aliens are something which really interests me. That's why I kind of thought I'll pick up this book and read about it.
You will enjoy it.
Yeah, I personally think aliens are there. I think they're hiding it or something.
Hmm. So
Next week, you can tell us if you do read the book. We
Yeah.
could do 5 minutes to just,
Yeah, next
Yeah,
time you can join, and if you finish the book, then you
Yes,
can
I
tell
want to.
us whether
explain to
you
us.
liked it.
Sounds good.
So let me just maybe share some quotes and okay. So no, emptiness is not nothingness. Emptiness is a type of existence. You must use this existential emptiness to fill yourself. To effectively contain a civilization's development and disarm it across such a long span of time, there is only one way: kill its signs. Your lack of fear is based on your ignorance. Every era puts invisible shackles on those who have lived through it, and I can only dance in my chains. By the time you're my age, you'll realize that everything you once thought mattered so much turns out to mean very little. You must know that a person's ability to discern the truth is directly proportional to his knowledge. Even if God were here, it wouldn't do any good. The entire human race has reached the point where no one is listening to their prayers. Should philosophy guide experiments, or should experiments guide philosophy? On Earth, humankind can step into another continent and without a thought destroy the kindred civilizations found there through warfare and disease. But when they gaze up at the stars, they turn sentimental and believe that if extraterrestrial intelligence exists, they must be civilizations bound by universal, noble, moral constraints, as if cherishing and loving different forms of life are parts of a self evident universal code of conduct. I think it should be precisely the opposite. Let's turn the kindness we show towards the stars to members of the human race on Earth. Why does one have to save people to be considered a hero? Why is saving other species considered insignificant? Who gave humans such high honors? No, humans do not need saving. They're already living much better than they deserve. Everyone likes to reminisce, but no one wants to listen. And everyone feels annoyed when someone else tells a story. So, with that, my presentation is done.
Must have missed a very important portion of your discussion,
Yeah.
because it is 20-25 minutes into time I joined.
Yes. So, you actually missed the entire presentation part of it, Shamal Ravji. So, sorry,
Okay.
I'll share the
But
link with you.
uh, but I wish actually that recorded video comes, I'll go through it
Sure.
Yeah.
thoroughly.
Yeah,
I will
definitely.
be very
And maybe you should finish reading the book before that so that all
sure.
our
Otherwise,
discouraging comments don't stop
you are
you.
very correct. You are very correct. Otherwise, one cannot enjoy the discussion
Yeah.
because book precedes the discussion, madam. Without a book, how can I will do it.
Right.
But it was difficult to begin itself. I don't know why. Maybe mind was occupied otherwise, other
No, no,
avocation.
no. It is a difficult read, Shamal Raji. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And also the character names also, they've been named so
Ah,
similar to each other. It's so difficult to when you go
to
through the story, I
remember.
felt. Yeah.
Two things put you off. One, actually, the names as you just suggested, through
Yeah.
science fiction. Somehow I do not get into this science fiction. It was my cup of tea. And that was another thing. I read 10, 15 pages, but somehow I could not push myself to complete the book. And perhaps I'm the defaulter in all of the discussion members who are present now.
No, no, not at all.
It
Yeah.
happens sometimes.
I actually, what I'll do is I'll stop the recording and then I wanted to ask all of you about